Okay, so today I'm going to give you a quick overrun of the Samsung Jet 75 cordless stick vacuum cleaner. So I've just taken some of the goods out of the box. Give you a quick look at the outside of the box here. So you'll see the model details there on the front. I got that actually delivered out, so it's quite easy to get sent in the post or via DHL or something like that. So looking inside the box as to what we got, you get your little user manual with just your normal instructions on the vacuum cleaner, as well as your mounting of the cradle / charger, and just general information and best practice about using your cordless stick vac. Here you will see you have your cradle / charger, so it's kind of a 2-in-1 unit. So that, in a minute, I'm just going to screw it to the wall. So you have 2 holes here, 1 and 2. So it comes with 2 raw plugs, so you will need a cordless drill. Ideally, if you had a hammer action drill or a cordless SDS drill, would be ideal. Then it also comes with these 2 black screws. You will see there's quite a big head on them, and that just fits in nicely neat into the cradle itself. Okay, so there is a second screw there. I just have it left on the other table. Comes with 2 batteries. I'm told each of these batteries lasts up to 60 minutes. Now, I'd be interested to see whether that's true if you're using the system on max power. So just to give you information on the power, it's 200 watts, so you do have good suction considering it's a cordless vac. Second battery is in situ or in place. You have a little quick release button here, and that leads you slide on the battery. It's obviously a lot easier, it's just I'm only using one hand for camera purpose. So it's a bit like what you'd have on your cordless drill or that. Just slides in, clicks in. Once you get a click, good to go. Looking at the vacuum in itself, you have a power button. Now the battery's dead because it's just new, and then you have a minus and a plus button to decrease or increase suction power accordingly. Now bear in mind, the lower suction you have, the longer the battery will last, because there's less energy being drained from the battery itself. So here you can stick on your actual stick, so it slots on here. Then inside the actual container itself, you have your HEPA filter. So that filters down over 99% of the medium you're putting into the vacuum itself. So here you have the stick attachment. So it's pretty robust, pretty solid. You'll see it's actually aluminium, the bit in my hand. Then you'll see the roller. It's quite a nice wide head. So it's good for general vacuum of your living area or rooms or whatever. So you can see it up close there. It's a turbo action brush. Sounds fancy. That's Samsung's marketing on it. And then that just clicks in here to the vacuum itself. Now it does give a nice, good, solid, robust click into situ. So you will see standing up, it does feel quite nice to the hand. So once that's activated, your roller and your turbo head will be rotating. And from an ergonomics perspective, it feels quite nice. And depending on your height, obviously you can tilt the vacuum accordingly. Then you have the second attachment, which comes in your standard 75 edition. It's this guy here. So that's more for getting in around, say, the side of your seats in your car, or down around the cushions of your sofa. So that clicks in. Again, just press the button. Goes in. So it's a nice little attachment on it. What I do like is for them hard to reach areas, you can press this and it extends out. So ideal for getting in, let's say, between the cushions here on the sofa. And then again, it just retracts with a click of a button. And that pops off. And what I do like is that'll actually click in to the cradle. Sorry, trying to do it with one hand isn't the easiest. And then you can get another attachment, or there's a whole series of attachments you can get. Looking here in the manual, so you can get a mini motorized tool, a combination tool, flexible tool, so on and so forth. I think the standard offering that comes with it is sufficient for most applications or most households itself. Okay, so when it comes to actually mounting this little holder, what I've done here in my own house is just going to mount it here, and then I've actually ran the power cable through this timber divide here on my kitchen. So just to show you, just remove off that tool we don't need for the minute. The power connection actually goes in here just where my thumb is. So just connects in here, and then it actually sits in this little hollow compartment so that you can mount it flush to your wall like so. Now when you're mounting this, you have to be careful. You need it to be 113 centimeters to the top, so where my finger is tapping here, it needs to be 113 centimeters, or if you're more conventional and you want that in all money, you're looking at 113 is 44.5 inches. Okay, so now here we have the cordless stick vac and cradle mounted to the wall. So you'll see the 3 LEDs indicate that the battery is full. So after using the vacuum, once I sit it down into the cradle, these will start to blink, and then it'll go from 1, 2 to 3 to indicate that the battery is fully charged, or how much it is charged effectively. So that's it mounted there. Now I had to run the power cable down a little bit just to clear the height of the kitchen cabinet. So what I did was I got a bit of what's called mini trunking. So that's just like your regular conduit, which has a little lid on it there that lifts off, and there's like that 3M sticky tape at the back. So I was able to hide the actual power cable neatly in behind that. Now you could also paint it to color code it to match the wall or the surface behind it, which would just tidy it in that little bit more. I'll just hook back on the attachment there. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you it in operation. So lift it up and it clears. So you'll just see here down at my thumb, press this once, powers up. You'll see it automatically goes into the medium or mid position, so you can go lower, which goes down to min, or plus all the way up to max. So obviously the higher the power, the better the suction, but the quicker you will drain the battery. So I'll just do a quick demo now, showing it in action. I want to go up to the max position, just to show you it's in operation. So as you see, I've just put out a few bits of dirt on the carpet here, and now I'm going to show you it up close in action. Okay. I must say, it does feel quite sturdy. It is quite easy to maneuver into tight corners, but yet it does feel quite robust at the same time. So now we've vacuumed up with it, I'm just going to show you how to empty out the container. Okay, so now we have your vacuuming complete and it's time to empty out the canister. I would recommend to do this after every time you've used the machine. So just hold it here with your right hand, quick release button on the top, just a twist, that takes out your HEPA filter. You can leave that to one side, you'll see what's being collected, and now I'll just tip that into the bin. You see it's nice and empty now. Then push that back in, rotate it around till it's tight and snug. I would say this carton could be a little bit stronger, but it's still quite sturdy and robust. Could be a little bit thicker at the same time. Then on the top, while I have it out, you have a little removable filter which you can wash underneath your tap. Just a basic dust filter. And that does slot in a certain way around. There we go. And then one hand clips back in place. Overall, pretty happy with the suction. The only thing I will say is, as with any of these cordless stick vacuum cleaners, you haven't got that much clearance between the roller brush and the actual body of the vacuum cleaner head. So you can't suck in the bigger items. Now, as with any vacuum cleaner, I know you're not supposed to, but it would be nice if it was able to kind of take in, let's say, more rougher debris, should we say. However, for general household dust, it's more than adequate. In terms of what I would give it out of 10, I'd probably give it about an 8. I suppose the one thing I was a little bit disappointed in is the length that the batteries last. On the product spec it says up to 60 minutes. Now it does come with 2 batteries, which is nice, but you're only typically going to use one, aren't you? You know, that sits down into the little cradle. On the max setting you probably get about 10-15 minutes out of your battery. Now it is good suction. I'm living in a small 3-bed semi-detached house. It is enough just to go around the kind of general living area and do a little bit of the stairs and landing. But if you want to be doing anything more substantial, you're probably better off going with your more traditional plug-in vacuum. Otherwise you'll have to use a vacuum, bring it back, put it into your charging base, charge it up after an hour or so, do your vacuuming, charging, back and over. So it just kind of defeats the purpose and takes away from the kind of whole ease and convenience of a cordless stick vacuum. So there you go.